Hey gang, what's up? Just Ehren right here, Question Period Canada, learning all about Canadian federal politics, sharing that with you. We've got these committee meetings. They're so exciting, guys. We get to see all the heavy hitters: Rachel Thomas, Larry Brock, Michael Barrett, Michael Cooper, Stephanie Cousy, Shannon Stubbs, Rick Perkins. There are so many heavy hitters, and the witnesses are always difficult. They never have the right answers. It's super interesting every time. Let's get into it. Let's check out another crazy committee video. Let's check it out.
Why don't we go to
Mr. Chair.
Why don't we go to Mr. Brock?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead for 2 minutes, Mr. Brock.
Thank you. Thank you for the witnesses for your attendance. I apologize. I had some technical difficulties myself. I didn't listen to your opening remarks, but I received some notes, and anyone can probably ask or answer this question, but I think it's probably more appropriate for you, Ms. Carruthers. Something in regards to your opinion that you took a proactive approach to not only the audit itself, but the recommendations. Isn't it fair to say that you were literally caught with your hand in the cookie jar, that the jig was up, public opinion was so strong with regards to this failed, corrupt practices exhibited by a number of departments in terms of outside contracting with outside consultants? So it wasn't an issue of you taking proactive measures within your own department, but literally the public demanded more transparency and accountability. Is that a better way of phrasing what's really going on here?
Thank you very much for the question. I would say, we did take proactive measures in that we weren't actually conducting this audit because we believed or were notified of any wrongdoing within the department. It really was a way for us to kind of assess the internal controls that we do have within the system so that we could then better be able to address any issues that did come up.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So I would push back a little bit, Ms. Carruthers, because we had a similar audit in 2019. And a lot of the findings in 2019 in terms of the irregularities of the contracting practices, the contract splitting, a number of contracts not being signed properly, people not having the appropriate authority, was revealed in 2019, 4 years ago. So I don't know how long you've been in your current role or at Global Affairs, but clearly nothing was learned by way of any sort of systemic change within the department, because this is deja vu all over again. Isn't that a fair statement?
Well, thank you very much for the question. What I would say is, yes, the time frame for this audit went from April 2018 to June 2023. Over the course of that period, the department actually did make a lot of changes to our system in order to rectify a lot of these issues. And in fact, I think if you went back, and which we have, and to look over the last couple of years, what's taken place is we've actually reduced the occurrence of errors in our post-payment verification process. So if we look back,
to be frank,
I'm afraid that is our time, but I'm sure we'll get back to it next round.
To Ms. Lalonde, although you weren't sworn or affirmed to tell the truth, any witness that appears at a parliamentary committee is expected to tell the truth. First question to you is, prior to your attendance today, did you read your audit?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. Yes, of course, I read my audit.
You just responded to a question put to you by my colleague, Ms. Block, that no cases of contracting splitting, which allows consultants to abuse taxpayer money. You said there were no instances. The report states, this is paragraph 2.1 under the heading of contract splitting. Through the review of both the statistical random and risk-based sample, the audit team assessed whether there were instances of contract splitting.
Okay,
In the statistical random sample.
Pour Monsieur Brock.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Dans un contexte où
In the context where we're talking about the importance of the health of our interpreters, we're saying that the quality of the sound is not good.
Mr. Brock.
Thank you, Chair. Question to you, Ms. Lalonde. Much earlier in the meeting, you provided a response to a question about the procurement process at Global Affairs, and you made a comment that the process is complex. Your words. I'm going to push back and I'm going to suggest to you the process is not complex with respect to procurement across all ministries, particularly your ministry, when the people who are in charge of the procurement actually honestly do their job and follow the rules. Would you agree with that?
Thank you for the question, Mr. President. Yes, I would.
Thank you. To you, Ms. Carruthers, again, earlier in this meeting, you made a couple of comments that piqued my interest. One is that you are firmly of the belief, notwithstanding this damning report from the auditor department, that you delivered value for money, you delivered value for Canadians, your words. And that you're also of the mindset that there is no evidence of wrongdoing with respect to the factual findings of a very small sample, a sample of under 100 contracts, over 8,000 contracts in total over this 4-year period, a fail rate of close to 25%. You determine there's no evidence of wrongdoing. You may conclude that there's been instances of irregularities, but I view this from a different lens. I view this from the lens of a former Crown attorney for 30 years. And there is clear examples, in my view, of criminality here and outright corruption. The Trudeau government, the whole department with respect to procurement and contracting in general, is just rife with abuse and mismanagement. And it's
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Mr. Brock is completely, misdirecting and misinforming and this committee.
That's not
with
a point
his,
of order, Chair.
Okay,
On the same point of order.
I will decide what's a point of order or not, and make your comment brief, Mr. Genuis.
I would just refer Mr. Kuzmierczak to the scripture I referred to earlier about trying to
Thank you,
remove
Mr.
us from
Genuis.
the blood
Mr.
and
Kuzmierczak, it's not a point of order, and I will comment. I find it very ironic, this coming from you after your last intervention. I don't think anyone should be throwing rocks inside of glass houses. Mr. Brock, continue, please.
Yes, so the culture of abuse and mismanagement in the Justin Trudeau government is alive and well at Global Affairs. The instances of irregularities that you call it, I call it corruption, no signed contracts, yet money was paid out, contracts signed for services rendered after the fact, one contract signed by an individual who benefited from the transaction, contract splitting.
Appel au règlement, Monsieur le Président.
Okay.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Translation again.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Chair. The sound was of poor quality.
We're obviously having lots of tech issues today. Do you want to just back up?
Is there
and
still a problem?
Let me
Is there
just
still a
check
problem,
with.
Chair?
Yeah, I'm afraid it's just not coming. You're perfectly loud and clear inside the room. Unfortunately, just for the translation, there is some glitch. Perhaps, there's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Perhaps, Mr. Genuis?
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics. So what do you think, gang? Point of order, Mr. Speaker? Point of order, Mr. Chair? Madam Chair? These videos are so crazy. Things that happen in the House of Commons are ludicrous these days. We've got to keep an eye on these Liberals and NDP, their nasty coalition. We certainly do need an election. I'll invite you to come and join our live broadcasts. We cover those daily, every single question period. It's a great chat room, a fun community. Come and hang out with us there. Till the next video, we're just showing you all of these crazy clips. Canadians can make up their own minds. They need to see this stuff, though. Till the next video, thank you for watching this one. I'm Ehren. Like, subscribe, share, get notified, all those fun things. We'll catch you next video. Thanks a lot, gang. Till next time.